I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I believe the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Snowy days and nights forced the cancellation of our guest speaker, Mr. Chris Sullivan, on December 3rd. We've secured a second date and will notify parents. The new date is January 27th, 2020, and Mr. Sullivan will be able to meet with students as well as host the community at night. We will send an updated calendar home to parents, along with communication about the March date we have changed to accommodate the primary election. On January 21st, Vice Chair Michelle Bodenhedinger and I are trying to schedule a school committee workshop in the day or night to review the updated superintendent's evaluation and continue to work on the committee goals. I would appreciate a brief discussion tonight to check on the schedules to see if we can make this time and day work for us. Enrollment update. Since my last report on enrollment, we have registered an additional 40 students at MPS, with most of the new students entering at the preschool and high school levels. Our new total enrollment stands at 4,799 students. Almost 4,800. We just need one more. John and Abigail Adams Scholarships. On December 4th, I was thrilled to meet with and congratulate our high school students who met the qualifications for the John and Abigail Adams Scholarships. Mr. Riley held a ceremony at MHS in the Little Theater to recognize their achievements in the, with the scholarship. Congrats again to all of the scholars. On January 22nd, Mr. Diaz and I will host a community group to discuss redistricting and to gather feedback about some initial plans we've developed. I've asked Denise Ryan and Michelle Bodenhedinger to join me at this meeting. Future meetings with the school's PTO groups will be held, and I would ask that the entire committee be present at those meetings to field comments and concerns from the public. Our first PTO meeting will be with the Richer School on February 5th. The rest of them will be scheduled the 2 months after that. If it pleases the committee at this time, I would just ask if we can look at schedules for January 21st to see if that works for a school committee workshop.
I have tentative plans on that date because that's the long weekend.
Yes.
But if everybody else has the day, then I may be able to change my plans. So.
When are you thinking?
The 21st.
The 21st. Well, we don't have school that day. It's a full day of professional development. We were looking at possibly day or night, just asking people what their schedule availability is.
I could see if she can move some stuff around. It's all city stuff, so.
Is it a possibility?
I don't have my schedule that far, but it's probably a day I can get.
Okay. Would people prefer a day meeting?
What's up? What do you think?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, day meeting it is. How long is this meeting? 15, 20 minutes?
15, 20 hours.
How long are we thinking?
A couple hours.
Like 3 o'clock?
Yeah, we could probably make something like that work.
No?
It's okay.
Well, we have evaluation
We have
committee. Joint evaluation committee.
Oh, we
But
might
that's
just have to
fine.
find a different room.
Yeah,
Before that, after
I mean, I
that?
blocked it out because I knew that that was the date that we were.
So I will send out an invite and see if we can't get everybody here. And I'll speak to both Catherine and Denise offline and see if they can be available for that day as well.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. O'Brien.
Good evening. As you may know, the state regulations require school districts to establish a special ed advisory council. During my time in Marlborough, there has not been an active special ed parent advisory council. And the last officers of the CPAC Leadership Council that were voted in for annual appointments occurred prior to July of 2017. due to lack of participating members. So since that time, there hasn't been enough membership to be able to have hold votes, have enough people to vote and elect officers. So a leadership council currently does not exist, and efforts by the by a special ed parent to plan and hold monthly CPAC meetings have been met with limited attendance, with an average of 1 to 2 Marlborough special ed parents attending. We have helped support announcements through having the events, the monthly meetings on the district calendar. We have we maintain a CPAC website for CPAC to have their information on there as well. I have met with the former chair of the CPAC to inform her that this time we needed to be looking to submit a waiver to the Department of Ed based on they have an administrative advisory that I had attached to my report that they had released, and it outlines acceptable alternatives to district-level CPAC. The district would be seeking to conduct a series of district-level parent trainings and participation events as the option on that advisory. Over the last several years, we've been able to hold numerous such events with very successful participation by parents. Some of those include Community Unity, which had presentations by local fire, police, ambulance, etc. We've hosted a regional transition fair with other school districts that included outside agencies and supports that are available for families once students either graduate or turn 22. We had a presentation on executive functioning by author Michael Delman, who is the author of the book, Your Kid's Going to Be Okay. And we've also held trainings that Tom Platty had arranged for assistive technology use that parents would be able to learn how to be able to use some of the communication devices that their children were utilizing at home. So in addition to submitting the waiver, which can extend up to 3 years, I'd be working with building level administrators on a plan to identify special ed parents to reach out to who may be interested in a more active role to support reestablishment of a CPAC. So overall, I think my experience has been that a lot of parents appreciate workshops that are offered that help provide them with useful tips for either at home or learning different things that we're doing within the school. But not a lot of special ed parents really want to devote and commit to being an officer in leading an organization. So that's where a lot of the difficulty comes from. And so I'd be working with the building staff on seeing if we can identify parents that that display leadership qualities to see if they'd be interested in participating in a board. Any questions?
Questions from the committee? Any questions from the committee? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jude.
Mr. Diaz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick update from Finance and Operations. Food services, negative balances are currently at negative $3,700, which is a positive change from the $4,000 number I reported 2 weeks ago. However, we still compare to negative $3,400 during the same period last year. We continue calling home, sending letters, and just asking our parents to apply for the free and reduced lunch program. That's something that we're constantly working on. At the last school committee meeting, the superintendent requested and got approval for switching March 3rd to a no school day. And at that time, there was a comment about the Boys and Girls Club being able to step in and take on some students on that day. I spoke to Chris Duane, and she confirms that we can have a program running out of Jarrick on March 3rd. There will be no voting at Jarrick, as well as their Discovery Club. Between the two locations, they'll have capacity for just under 80 students, which is great. And parents who are interested can reach out directly to them to enroll their students for those 2 days, for that day of March 3rd. And that is all.
Questions from the committee? Any questions from the committee? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Public participation. Any public participation? Public participation. Seeing none. Mr. Diaz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time every year, the superintendent proposes a superintendent budget calendar to the committee. This year's recommended budget calendar is very similar to last year's, including a Wednesday, 6 p.m. Budget workshop scheduled for February 26th, which is a couple weeks prior to us getting permission from the committee to post the budget for the public hearing. So again, we thought that last year's calendar worked out well, so we're not recommending any changes for this year.
Input.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented, or the calendar, the budget
Motion
calendar.
made and seconded to approve as presented. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Carries.
Thank you.
Are we doing policies?
Mr. Mayor, these are policies that the Policy Subcommittee have put forward for a first read.
We're gonna do the removal also?
The removal of the policy 2.445 was voted on by the subcommittee. Partially, the intent was the only thing we could think of that would relate to this measure to voters would be a Proposition 2.5 override. And between all of us, we couldn't foresee that in the future.
Do we wanna vote on the removal now, or wait till the next meeting?
Vote on it now, doesn't matter.
Motion.
Move to,
Go ahead.
remove policy 2.445.
Motion made and seconded to remove policy number 2.445. Discussion, Ms. Matthews.
I would tend to agree, but based on the policy 2.615 that you've presented later on, you can't vote on it tonight. Your steps include first reads.
I believe the committee has to suspend the rules.
Oh, well then,
Okay.
let's just wait.
Right,
It's not
but-
a hurt.
I know, it doesn't hurt either way, but,
Right.
or you suspend the rules, I don't care.
Wait.
But based on policy.
Okay, we'll wait till the next meeting to vote on all of them. How's that?
Right.
All right?
And the rest of the, are first reads from the Policy Subcommittee.
Okay. Thank you very much. Gifts and awards, Boston Scientific, Whitcomb School, Mrs. Hall's Makerspace Classroom, $6,000.
Sorry, didn't you have an agenda item you?
No,
wanted?
we're gonna wait till January on that. Sorry,
Okay.
thank you very
I
much.
apologize.
$6,000.
Motion to accept with gratitude.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Carries. Life Touch National School Portrait, Richard School, $1,394.60.
Motion to accept.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Carries. Cummings Properties, Early Childhood Center, $1,000.
Motion to accept.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Carries. Reports to subcommittees? Any reports? Members?
Policy
We
meeting.
do have another policy meeting this Friday, 9 to 11.
Excellent. Any other reports? Seeing none, the members' forum.
I have reviewed the warrant and will sign it.
Thank you very much. Other members?
Not a member, Mr. Mayor, but I'd like to recognize Darren.
Absolutely.
Been a pleasure working with you.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you so much.
Last meeting.
This is Darren's last meeting, and I want to thank you very much for stepping up when
Yeah.
we had a big gap here, and obviously disappointed you're not going to be around with us next year, but who knows what's going to happen in the future,
In the
right?
future, now that you know what it's all about.
Yes, no, I greatly appreciate the opportunity. It's with mixed emotions.
So we understand, and I know when we first talked, you were committed to the balance of this year, and that was it,
Bless you.
and thought you were going to be able to pull it off, but like I said, we'll see what happens in the future, but thank you very, very much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Any other members?
Wishing everybody a very happy holiday season.
Extremely happy holiday season.
And the inauguration?
January
January
6th.
6th,
at
10 o'clock.
10
10
a.m.
o'clock at the
Be
Whitcomb
there,
School.
be square.
Monday?
Yes.
A lot of good music. Like we heard the other night at the,
Oh, and tomorrow night is the high school
Right.
Tomorrow
concert.
night is the winter
Right.
concert.
Winter concert.
High school, right?
fantastic. And we don't have any schedule, oh, we do have a schedule, so we gotta come back in January.
Yeah, we're not like the city council.
All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor, opposed, carries. Thank you all very much and have a great holiday season.